Greetings to our members in Capitec. I'd like to give you an update on the salary negotiations that was recently concluded. As you're aware, we had discussions with the bank starting early January, which discussions were finalized at some point last month. And in terms of those discussions, I just wanted to indicate what was some of the challenges that we had experienced and what were some of the pieces of information that we came across that you might not have been privy to. I think to start off, negotiations this year was very difficult if one considers the slow pace of the growth of the economy, that we're coming out of a high inflationary environment. Interest rates are still quite high and without any cuts on the cards from the Reserve Bank. So if you look at the economic environment, it's been very tightly squeezed on various levels, and as a result it showed itself in the negotiations where the bank's mandate was a bit tight, and these were some of the reasons that one has found as to why that was the case. On the other side, we've also seen members raising their views about wanting a better increase, and as a union that's representing its members' interests, we took the opportunity to convey that to the bank. But I suppose the meeting point between higher increases on the side of our members and a slightly lower or more conservative mandate on the part of the bank, I think created a bit of a challenge, which then eventually resulted in us having talks that were stalling because we weren't able to reach an agreement. We then referred back to members to ask for a revised mandate, and at the same time the bank's representatives went back to their principals to seek a new mandate. What I'm very pleased to indicate is that the negotiations were concluded with SASPO getting the bank to offer an increase that was higher than what the original mandate was. And I think in that respect, we definitely made a positive difference. Just to summarize in terms of the figures, in terms of the outcome of the negotiations, we ended off on a permanent cost of 6.5% as the salary increase effective 1 May 2024. And that was then distributed based on performance. In terms of those ratings, starting at 1, it was 0%, 2, 5.5%, 3, 6.5%, 4, 8%, and lastly 5 at 9.5%. We've also then agreed to a salary increase distribution for those in the tri-annual performance appraisal rating system. So this is a slightly new system that came into effect amongst head office and certain BSc employees. This is still very much on a pilot basis, but in terms of that rating scale, one's qualified for 5.5%, 2's at 6.5%, and 3's at 8%. And just moving to the healthcare allowance, we are still in discussions with the bank about a proper subsidized medical aid benefit. Those talks are ongoing. No agreement was reached on that right at this negotiations, but what we have agreed to is that the healthcare allowance goes up by 7.5% to 621 rands 82 cents. This will be back paid to 1 January 2024. And then lastly is the salary scale adjustments. So in the positions ATM assistant, bank better champion, service consultant, assistant branch manager, the minimum salary has gone up by 6.5%. There are other matters that are on the negotiating table that have not been resolved at salary negotiations but have been deferred to the NCF, and that entails the following matters: subsidized medical aid scheme benefit, internal and external pay parity, and BSc variable pay scheme and remuneration principles. On the BSc variable pay incentive, we were successful in getting the scheme to be increased by 200 rands, so it's effective from 1 May, it's moved from 2,000 rands to 2,200 rands. Thank you.